Hello students, in continuity of chapter 8, today we are going to study about various organelles present in living organisms. These organelles, they are present in animals as well as plants. First, we are going to study about cell membrane. If you recall your previous study, you have idea about this membranous structure, organelle structure present in living cell. The detailed structure of the membrane was studied only after the invention of electron microscope, round about in the 1950s. Chemical study on the cell membrane, especially in human RBC, enabled the scientists to deduce possible structure of plasma membrane. These all studies show that the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipids and proteins. So we can say main composition present in any cell membrane, that is lipids and protein. Major lipids are phospholipids and they are arranged in a bilayer. It means that two layers of these phospholipids, they are present in composition of membranous structure. The lipids are arranged within the membrane with the polar head towards the outer side and the hydrophobic tails toward the inner part. This ensures that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbon is protected from the aqueous environment. In addition to phospholipids, membrane also possesses cholesterol. Lipid component of the membrane mainly consists of phosphoglycerides. So this way composition of cell membrane is observed in living cells. After further study, biochemical investigation clearly revealed that the cell membrane also possesses protein and carbohydrates. Ratio of protein and lipid here varies considerably in different cell types. This ratio is also different. If we talk about human being, the membrane of the erythrocyte has approximately 52% protein and 40% of lipids. Depending on the age of extraction, membrane protein can be classified as integral and peripheral type of protein. Peripheral proteins, their location in this cell membrane structure on the surface of membrane. It means on peripheral region. That's why they are known as peripheral proteins. Another type, that is integral proteins, they are partially or totally buried in the membrane. So this way, on the basis of the location, it may be integral type of protein or peripheral type of protein in constitution of cell membrane. After further investigation, the improved model of the structure of cell membrane was proposed by scientists named Singer and Nicholson in 1972. So widely accepted as fluid mosaic model. According to this model, this structure, the quasi-fluid nature of lipid enables lateral movement of proteins, which in overall bilayer. This ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. So this way the model is named fluid mosaic model regarding cell membrane. It was proposed by scientists Singer and Nicholson. The fluid nature of the membrane is also important from the point of view of function. It is like cell growth, formation of intercellular junctions, secretion, then endocytosis, cell division and some other functions. This figure gives clear idea about composition or arrangement in cell membrane structure. Here you can see lipid bilayer is present. So two layers of lipids are observed. Within this lipid layer, two type of proteins, that is peripheral and integral proteins, are present. Peripheral proteins, they are arranged on peripheral region of membrane structure, and integral protein, they are located inside. So, two layer of lipid, that is bilayer structure of lipid, and protein is present. Over and above this structure, some carbohydrates, the form of sugar and cholesterol, is also observed in composition of cell membrane. One of the most important function of the plasma membrane is the transport of molecule across it. The membrane is selectively permeable to some molecules present on either side of it. Many molecules, they can move briefly across the membrane without any requirement of energy, and some they require energy. On the basis of this, it is classified into two types of transportation, that is active transportation and passive transportation. Active transportation, during this it involves expenditure of energy by the cell. So for this type of transportation, energy is must. Passive transportation, here cell do not spend any energy for this type of transportation. So active, it requires energy. Passive, it does not require any type of energy. Active transportation, it is against the concentration gradient. It means that it is possible from lower concentration to higher concentration also. But passive transportation is always along the concentration gradient. It means that always from higher to lower concentration. Active transportation is a rapid process because here energy involvement is there. But comparatively, passive transportation, it is a slower process. Movement of water by diffusion is called osmosis. As the polar molecule cannot pass through non-polar lipid bilayer, they require a carrier protein of the membrane to facilitate their transport across the membranous structure. Few ions or molecules are transported across the membrane against their concentration gradient. It means lower to higher concentration, and so energy is required at that time. Here ATP is used and active transportation take place. Some of the mechanism, they are known as sodium and potassium pump. So all this activity, they are involved with transportation purpose, which is a main function of plasma membrane. Next organelle, that is cell wall. If we try to recall, a non-living rigid structure called the cell wall form an outer covering for the plasma membrane of fungi in plants. Cell wall not only give shape to the cell and protect the cell from mechanical damage and infection, but it is also help in cell-to-cell interaction and provides barrier to undesirable macromolecules. Cell wall is present in plant cell and fungi. Algae have cell wall made up of cellulose, galactons and minerals. It is like calcium carbonate. In some other plant, its composition is cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin and protein. So this way, this type of various components are present in composition of cell wall. Cell wall, it may be of two types, primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. The cell wall of a young plant cell, it is a primary cell wall, is capable to growth, which gradually diminishes at the cell mature, and the secondary cell wall is formed on the inner side. It means membranous structure side of the cell. So this way, primary cell wall and secondary cell wall, they are present in cell. The middle lamella is a layer mainly of calcium pectate which hold leaves and different neighboring cells together. Endoplasmic reticulum. endoplasmic reticulum. Means it's a located protoplasmic region inner side and form network like structure. It's a reticulum, and this way it is known as endoplasmic reticulum. In short, it is also known as ER. Electron microscopic study of eukaryotic cell, it reveals the presence of a network of reticulum of tiny tubular structure and which is scattered in the cytoplasm, that is called ER or endoplasmic reticulum. So this way ER divides the intercellular space into two regions, or we can also say two distinct compartments, that is luminal inside ER and extraluminal, that is cytoplasm compartment. ER often show attach ribosomes to the outer surface. Endoplasmic reticulum which bear ribosome on their surface, they are known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. It means that RER. In absence of this ribosome, they appear smooth, and this way it is known as SER. It means smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this way there are two type of reticulum: endoplasmic reticulum, that is RER, rough, and SER, it means smooth one. Function wise they also differ. RER is involved in protein synthesis and secretion. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum SER, it does not bear ribosome on its surface. It involved in lipid synthesis and steroidal hormones. So this way two type of endoplasmic reticulum, that is RER and SER, and their function is very important for living cell. This figure gives clear idea about arrangement of endoplasmic reticulum in cell. Here you can see the structure is arranged from nucleus to cytoplasmic region. It is enlarged. This rough endoplasmic reticulum which possesses ribosome on its surface, clearly observed in this figure also. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum which does not possess any ribosome on its surface, and that's why it is smooth one, and it also appears in this figure. So this way this type of fold structure, network of reticulum, is present tubular structure scattered in the cytoplasm region, and on the basis of absence or presence of ribosome, it may be RER or SER. Golgi apparatus. Scientist, very well known scientist, that is Camillo Golgi, in 1898 first observed densely stained reticular structure near the nucleus region in living cell, and laterally it was named Golgi bodies after him. They consist of many flat dish-shaped sacs or cisternae of 0.5 mm to 1 mm diameter. These are stacked parallel structure to each other. Number may be vary of cisternae are present in a Golgi complex. Golgi cisternae are concentrically arranged near the nucleus with distinct convex cisternae, or they may be forming as a phase the concave trans or the maturing phase. So this way the cis and trans phases of the organelle are entirely different, but they are interconnected actually. Main function of Golgi apparatus to perform packaging of material and its transportation in cell. Number of proteins synthesized by ribosomes are modified in cisternae of Golgi apparatus here. Golgi apparatus is the site for synthesis of glycoprotein and glycolipids. So this way one of the important organelle present in living cell, that is Golgi apparatus, and function wise is also important for living cell because it carry out the function like packaging of the material. By studying this figure, we can come to know about the arrangement of Golgi apparatus in a cell. Here you can see the sac-like structure, bag-like structure that is arranged in this structure, that is unit with the cisternae. So cisternae, they are concentrically arranged near the nucleus with distinct convex 6 and trans structure in a cell. So this way the structure, the name, this is a Golgi body, so arranged, and this type of flat dish-shaped sacs or cisternae are observed in typical structure of Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. Lysosomes. These are membrane bound vesicular structure formed by the process of packaging in the Golgi apparatus. Now you know well about the composition of Golgi apparatus as well as its function also. So lysosome is a membrane bound vesicular structure formed by the process of packaging in the Golgi apparatus. Isolated lysosomal vesicle, they have been found to be very rich in almost all type of hydrolytic enzymes. Their hydrolysis, lipase, protease, carbohydrates, this type of enzyme optimally active at the acidic pH. These enzymes, they are capable of digesting various biomolecules. It is like carbohydrates, so carbohydrates are there, for proteins, proteases are there, and for lipids, lipase is there, as well as nucleic acid also. Vacuoles. Vacuole is the membrane bound space found in the cytoplasm. It contains water, sap, excretory product and other materials not useful for the cell. Vacuole is bound by a single membrane that is called tonoplast. In plant cell, the vacuole can occupy up to 90% of the volume of the cell. In plants, the tonoplast, it facilitates the transport of number of ions and other material against concentration gradient into vacuole. It means that from lower to higher concentration type of transportation. So this way their concentration is significantly higher in the vacuole than in the cytoplasm. In amoeba, the contractile vacuole is important for excretion. In many cells, as in protists, food vacuoles, they are formed by engulfing the food particles. So this way, vacuole, which is a membrane bound space found in the cytoplasm, and it carry out various function in cell. Mitochondria, very well known organelle present in living cell, and as you know very well, it is also known as powerhouse of the cell. This spatially sustained are not easily visible under the microscope. The number of mitochondria per cell is variable depending on the physiological activity of the cell. If we talk about its shape and size, also the variety is there. It is observed in various cells. Typically it is a sausage shape, or simple it is a cylindrical, having diameter round about 0.2 to 1 micrometer and average is 0.5. Length is 1 to 4.1 micrometer. Each mitochondria is a double membrane bound structure with the outer membrane and the inner membrane. So this way two type of membrane are there, inside inner membrane, outside that is outer membrane, It is dividing its lumen distinctly into two aqueous compartments, the outer compartment and inner compartment. Inner compartment is filled with a dense homogeneous substance and it is known as matrix, which you can see in this figure also. The arrangement of outer membrane, inner membrane and matrix region. Outer membrane form the continuous limiting boundary of the organelle. Inner membrane form a number of infolds known as cristae toward the matrix region here. Cristae increase the surface area because it's infold, finger-like projection, and this way surface area is increases by this region. Two membranes have their own specific enzymes associated with the mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the site of aerobic respiration. So this way, for respiration purpose, is very important organelle for a cell. This various type of enzyme, they are responsible for the process of respiration, and mainly mitochondria are site for aerobic respiration. They produce cellular energy in the form of ATP and they are called powerhouse of the cell. Matrix also possess single circular DNA molecule, few RNA molecule, ribosome which is of 70S type of ribosome, and the components required for the synthesis of protein. The mitochondria, it is divided by fission process. So due to this function carried out by mitochondria, that is the produce cellular energy in the form of ATP, and it is very well known as a powerhouse of the cell. Now let's study about plastids. They are found in all plant cells and euglenoids. They are of three types of plastid, classified into three types. They are chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chloroplast, it possesses chlorophyll and carotenoids. Chromoplast, it contains carotene and xanthophyll in its composition. And leucoplast, it means this type of plastid, they are actually colorless plastids. So due to variation in this composition, presence of various pigments, it may be of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Their location is mainly in plant cell and euglenoids. Chloroplast, it contains chlorophyll, which is actually green in color type of pigment, and it traps solar energy for photosynthesis. So in green plant, the photosynthesis process is carried out by chloroplast. Chromoplast, it provides yellow, orange and red color to different part of plants. Leucoplast, as you know, it's a colorless plastid, so it's not giving any color to this cell, but it store food. Amyloplast, that is the carbohydrates. Alleloplast in the form oil, and alleloplast in the form of proteins. So their main function is a leucoplast is store food various way. Chloroplasts are double membrane structure, the space limited by inner membrane, and it is called stroma. Thylakoids are present in stroma is a stack like the pile of coin, that is called grana. In this figure you can see the structure of chloroplast clearly. Outer membrane and inner membrane, they are located outside and inside of this organelle. They possess distinct region like grana and stroma. Then in between stromal region, interstromal lamellae is there, and arrangement is like stacked pile called coin type arrangement is thylakoid, where actually the green color pigment chlorophyll is present. Majority of chloroplast of green plants are found in the mesophyll cells. This structure you have already studied in anatomy of leaf. These are lens shaped, oval, spherical, discoid, or even ribbon-like organelle having variable length in their structure. Stroma contains enzyme for synthesis of protein and carbohydrate in structure of chloroplast. Double-strand circular DNA and ribosomes, they are also present in this stroma region. Thylakoids, they are arranged in stacks like the pile of coins. They are called grana or the intergranal thylakoids. In addition to this, the flat membranous tubules, they are called stomatal lamellae, which you can see in this figure also, connecting the thylakoids of the different grana region. Membrane of the thylakoid enclose the space called lumen. Stroma of the chloroplast contain enzymes required for synthesis of carbohydrate and protein. So this way the composition of chloroplast, which is observed in green plants, green part of plant, and it is essential for the process of photosynthesis in plants. The ribosomes of the chloroplast, they are smaller, 70s, than the cytoplasmic ribosome, which are 80s. Ribosomes, they are the granular structure first observed under the electron microscope as dense particle by George Palade in 1953. Their composition is of ribonucleic acid, RNA, and proteins, and are not surrounded by any membranous structure. In eukaryotic cell, the eukaryotic ribosomes, they are of ATS type, and their subunits are 50 plus 30. In prokaryotic cells, that is 70S type of ribosome of 50 and 30. Each ribosome has two subunits. One is larger and another is smaller. So, ribosome is made up of two subunits, larger and smaller. Here in this figure also you can see the large subunit and small subunit of ribosome composition. If we talk about ATS type of ribosome, so two subunits, they are 60 and 40. So ATS is made up of 60 plus 40, and 70S ribosome, it is made up of 50 and 30. Here S, this is Svedberg's unit, stands for the sedimentation coefficient. It is indirectly a measure of density and size. Both 70S and ATS ribosome, they are composed of two subunits. Cilia and flagella, they are hair-like outgrowths of the cell membrane. Cilia are small structure which work like oars, causing the movement of either the cell or the surrounding fluid. Flagella, they are comparatively longer and responsible for cell movement. In prokaryotic bacteria also possess flagella, but these are structurally different from that of the eukaryotic flagella. Here in this figure you can see that's a parts diagrammatic representation of internal structure. Electron microscopic study of the cilium or the flagellum show that they are covered with plasma membrane. Here you can see the plasma membrane also. Their core called axoneme possesses a number of microtubules. They are running parallel to long axis. Axoneme usually has 9 pairs of doublets of radially arranged peripheral microtubules and a pair of centrally located microtubules. That is clearly observed in this figure also. 9+1 arrangement in this structure. Such is arrangement of axonal microtubule is referred to as a 9+2, as you can see in this figure also. Central tubules are connected by a bridge and is also enclosed by a central sheath, which is connected to one of the tubule of each peripheral doublets by a radial spoke. So this way there are 9 radial spokes. You can count here also easily. The peripheral doublets are also interconnected by lincus. Both the cilium and flagellum emerge from centriole like structure, which is called basal body. So this way in various type of cell, the arrangement of cilia and flagella observed were responsible for cell movement. Centrosome and centriole. Centrosome is an organelle usually containing 2 cylindrical structure that is known as centriole. They are surrounded by amorphous, that is pericentriolar material. Both the centriole in a centrosome lie is perpendicular to each other, in which each has an organization like the cartwheel. They are made up of 9 evenly spaced peripheral fibrils of tubule protein. Each of the peripheral fibrils is triplet in their arrangement. The adjacent triplet also link the central part of the proximal region of the centriole is also proteinaceous, and the central region is known as hub, which is connected with tubule of the peripheral triplets by this radial arrangement spoke made up of protein. Centriole form the basal body of cilia or flagella and spindle fibers that give rise to spindle apparatus during cell division in animal cell. Nucleus is a cell organelle first described by Robert Brown as early as in 1831. Later, the material of the nucleus stained by the basic dye was given the name chromatin by Fleming. As you know, the nucleus is very important organ for the cell. The interphase nucleus of a cell, when it is not dividing, has highly extended and elaborate nucleoprotein fiber called chromatin, nuclear matrix, and one or more spherical body which are called nucleoli. Electron microscopy has revealed that the nuclear envelope, which consists of 2 parallel membranes with a space between called perinuclear space, forms a barrier between the material present inside the nucleus and in the cytoplasm. Outer membrane of this structure is usually remain continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum and also bears ribosome on it. The number of places the nuclear envelope is interrupted by minute pore, which are formed by the fusion of its 2 membranes. These nuclear pores are the passage through which movement of RNA and protein molecule take place in both directions between the nucleus and cytoplasm. Normally, there is only one nucleus per cell. Variation in the number of nucleus are also frequently observed. So this way, the number of nucleus is generally one in a cell, but in some cell they are also having more than one nucleus. In some mature cell even they do not possess nucleus, or there is lack of nucleus in some cell, and it is present in our body in human RBC, erythrocyte, so red blood cell, and C tube cells of vascular plant. Every chromosome has a primary construction present within the nucleus structure. Inside this shell, kinetochore are present. So within the structure of nucleus, so chromosomes are present. This figure gives clear idea about structure of nucleus in living cell. As you can see, it's a near to round shape. Nucleus is present within this nucleus structure. Membrane surrounded is a nucleoplast. Chromatin material is available within it. Nuclear envelope is observed, and at some places, at some sites, pore-like structure is also present, that is nuclear pore. So these all structures, nucleolus, nuclear pore, nucleoplast, chromatin and nuclear envelope is observed in structure of typical nucleus in living cell. Chromosomes. The interphase nucleus has a loose and distinct network of nucleoprotein fiber called chromatin. But during different stages of cell division, cells show structured chromosome in place of the nucleus. Chromatin contains DNA and some basic protein. They are known as histones. Some are non-histone protein and also RNA. A single human cell has approximately 2 meter long thread of DNA distributed among its 46. It means that 23 pair of chromosome that we will going to study in detail in standard 12 also. Every chromosome is visible only in dividing cell, not every time. Essentially has a primary constriction of the centromere, on the side of which dish-shaped structure, that is kinetochore present. Centromere holds 2 chromatids of a chromosome. Based on the position of this centromere, chromosome can be classified into 4 types. As you can see in this figure also, there are 4 types of chromosomes present here. Metacentric type of chromosome has middle centromere forming 2 equal arms of the chromosome, that you can see in first figure, the metacentric type of chromosome. Submetacentric type of chromosome has centromere slightly away from the middle of the chromosome, resulting into 2 different type of arm, that is shorter and longer. The second figure is about submetacentric type of chromosome. In case of acrocentric chromosome, the centromere is situated close to its end, forming one extremely short and one very long arm, that you can see in this figure. And the telocentric chromosome has a terminal centromere. So this way, on the basis of position of centromere, this chromosome, they are classified or differentiated into 4 types. It may be metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric or telocentric type of chromosome. Sometimes a few chromosomes, they have non-staining secondary constriction at a constant location, and this gives the appearance of a small fragment, and they are called satellite. This figure also you can see this structure, satellite is clearly observed. 2 arms, so observe that is centrally located, centromere is present. Centromere is observed in this all type of chromosome. On the basis of their location, they are classified into mainly 4 types.